Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Off-Farm Income Podcast. Hey, thank you so much for joining us here on our YouTube channel for episode number 1093. Well, today we are going to be talking all about a passion and a drive and a love for traditional production agriculture row crop farming. We're speaking with Cody Keefer, who is coming to us from Alexander High School in Ohio, where he has just recently graduated high school. And this young man, and I guess when I was 17 or 18, maybe I could have done this, but this young man has figured out a plan to farm. And the only thing he's got to sacrifice is sleep. He's going to tell you all about it in today's interview, and we're going to get that started for you right now. Cody, welcome to the show. Thank you so much for coming on today.
Thanks for having me.
Hey, it's my pleasure, man. I'm looking forward to speaking with you. You come highly recommended by your FFA advisor, and sounds like you've got a lot going on out there in Ohio.
Just a little bit. It's planting season. We're getting some pre-emergent sprayed on corn before corn comes up, and it's just a big hustle.
Okay, I know I'm catching you right in your busiest time of year, and you got to get a break in between the window of the weather. So I really appreciate the time. Well,
it's no big deal.
All right, well, let's do this. Let's talk about you and the FFA for a minute. So how long have you been part of the FFA?
Ever since I was a freshman in high school, and it's my senior year, so all 4 years. And my whole family's been involved in it. My dad's been to national twice, getting different degrees. My sister's got her state degree. My brother's got his state degree. I got my state degree, and I'm working on my national right now.
Man, so, you've got a family tradition going on there.
Yes, sir.
Very good. Well, we're recording this, I think, just a few days before you're going to graduate. You're going to be graduating here in a few days, right?
Yep, I'm graduating on the 30th.
Awesome. And so we're airing this a couple weeks after you graduate, or actually about 10 days after you graduate. But hey, congratulations. What a great accomplishment.
Thank you.
You bet. And so you've already started working on your American degree.
Yeah, I got to go back through, and my other SAE, besides working on the farm with my dad, is hay crop. And since I've been helping Dad, I haven't been able to cut hay yet. Mm-hmm. So I'm a little bit behind on my records. I haven't sold any hay yet to put money and hours and my expenses in yet. So once, probably about beginning of fall, when I get everything done, all my receipts, bills, and all that stuff, I can put it in there and see where I'm at with my American degree. And if I need to put some more work in, I'll put some more work in.
Awesome. Well, that's great. What a great goal. Now, I'm assuming you've got all this farming going on. Do you live out on the family farm, or is this a piece of property you guys go out to farm?
No, we live on the farm. We got about a 250-acre farm, and then we farm from Athens, all around the Athens area, to Wilkesville, which is a good long trip back down.
Okay. And how long has this farm been in your family?
Let's see. Since about the 70s.
Okay. Wow. Okay. So, man, 70s are when I was born, so that doesn't sound so long ago to me. But we're working on that being, well, unfortunately for me, we're working on that being 50 years ago. So that's been a while. Oh, my goodness.
It's been a little bit.
I have never, that was like a slap in the face right there, man. I've never, ever really thought about myself as a 50-year-old, but boy, am I getting close. My goodness, Cody. Okay, so that's been around a while. And what kind of farming do y'all do there?
We do row crop. We got wheat, beans, corn, some hay, and then we got about 25, 30 head of Angus beef cattle.
Okay, so some cattle just as a little something to do in the off season or feed your excess crop too?
Yeah, that's our winter projects and get them ready to sell in the spring.
Don't you know you row crops farmers are supposed to go to Florida in the winter? You're not supposed to be messing around with cows.
Yeah, that's my dad's thing. He's like, man, I like cows. I'm like, yeah, I like them too. But I don't want to mess with them that
much. Yeah, there's warmer places than Ohio in the middle of winter.
No doubt.
Okay, well, let's do this. I'd love to acknowledge your FFA advisor who recommended you for the interview. Who is that?
Jenna Meeks. She just came here from Southern schools. It's their first year at Alexander, and she's done a pretty good job. I'll give her that, and she's bringing some new ways in. But I think it's going to work out for the best, and I hope future years can enjoy her and see how everything is.
Well, change is never easy, is it?
No, it's never easy.
You know, it's funny. I've had the opportunity to interview a bunch of Mrs. Meeks' students at our previous school, and now they're at Alexander. And man, somehow she's always sending me really high quality interviews, really high quality students. So I'm glad it's working out. She's doing a good job. I'm looking at your supervised ag experience. Now, I know you've got a placement SAE working on your family farm, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
And then Mrs. Meeks told me that you're also doing some farming on your own, separate from that. Is that right? Tell us about that.
Well, I started out with 3 acres of hay about 3 or 4 years ago. Then I bumped it up to about 20, and then I just picked up another 20 acres this year. So I'm close to 50 acres in 3 years, which isn't a lot of growing for a normal person, but it's good enough for me because I got to help run the farm, and on our family farm we run about 1,200 acres of row crops and all that stuff. So it's pretty busy, and that's a good safe spot for me to where I can still cut hay when I need to and still be able to work on a farm and get all the farm stuff done. So I do plan on getting a whole lot more, probably buying another tractor and being able to, cut hay at night or something like that. Or when we're spraying like this, I can just jump and start baling hay or something.
Okay. Yeah, you can cut hay at night. I mean, you don't have to sleep. You just work 24/7 to get your stuff done, right?
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Well, I know it goes that way sometimes. Now, so
it does.
Tell me about your hay. Are you growing alfalfa there in Ohio, or you do something different?
That first 3 acres I had was alfalfa. This 13 acres that I added on last year, it's got a whole bunch of mixed in there. It's like orchard, alfalfa, Kentucky bluegrass. It's a whole bunch of really good stuff. Cows absolutely love it. And then this 20 acres I picked up this year is just regular old hay ground.
Okay. And I was going to ask you about that. The hay that you're growing, are you feeding that to your own cows, or are you selling that to customers?
We usually we'll put some of ours to all the stuff I'm selling. We'll sell mostly, but there'll be a couple bales that, like busted bales, we'll just feed the cattle. But my dad, he's got hay ground too, and he just bales all that and keeps it to the cattle.
Okay.
But we'll feed some of mine to the cattle, and we'll kind of experiment and see what I think other cow people, what kind of hay they would like. So then I can market to different people.
And so you're mostly marketing to cattle people or exclusively to cattle people?
Some cattle people, and then I just picked up another client that hopefully, if they like it, they'll take second and third cut and round bales for horse.
Okay, for horses. And do you guys bale everything as round bales?
Some, but we did bale about 200 square bales for the cattle in the wintertime for the baby calves mostly.
Okay.
Would put them in the barn and bust a couple of square bales open. They'd enjoy that pretty good.
Okay, so like the large square bales, like 1,000 pounds or something like that?
Nah, just a little 50 to 100 pound square bales.
Oh, okay, so small square bales. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm always curious about that. So many people bale round bales now, or the large square bales, that sometimes people find a niche selling those small bales because they're easier for smaller people to move around and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's a lot easier for most people. So can't really beat that.
How many cuttings will you get up there in Ohio?
If we're lucky and start when we're supposed to, with alfalfa, you can probably get 3 to 4 because you're supposed to cut it every 28 days. And we usually get 2 to 3, but we usually start a little bit later because we're still trying to get corn and beans in the ground.
Yeah. And are you
usually 4?
Are you able to let it sit out there and cure in Ohio, or do you get too much rain for that? Do you have to wrap it and do all that type of stuff?
You got to watch the weather pretty good, because usually the weatherman don't know what he's talking about, and it'll say it's clear, and the next minute it's pouring down rain.
Okay.
But we usually can let it cure. I think I got lucky in last year when I was doing square bales. I let it cure for like a week, and it was awesome. then
Okay. Yeah.
started to rain the next day.
Okay. All right. Well, so how is spring plant going? Are you guys just running between rain? I know it's been rainy in the Midwest.
Yeah, we haven't got too much rain. We did a little bit earlier on, but now we're starting to get into a little bit of a drought where we need some rain bad because we got about four-ish hundred acres of corn in the ground right now
Mm-hmm.
that could really use the rain so everything can come up. And we just started planting beans a couple days ago, and then our dirt working tractor, I blew a hydraulic hose on it, and had to get it special ordered. And so we're just sitting there now. So we're spraying. As soon as we get that hose in, start working ground, start planting beans again.
Okay.
So.
All right. So with you on your operation and in your graduating high school, are you going directly into farming? Is there room for you to come back and farm full time? Are you going off to school? Are you doing something else?
What I plan on doing is I'm going to come back, work on a farm. And when I turn 18 in September, I'm going to try to get a job at UPS or one of our Budweiser plants where I'm packing trucks at night. So I can still work on the farm through the day. And I have another job to back up farming too. If something happens, I got another safe space to come back and lean on.
Okay. So you're specifically looking for a night job to free you up to farm during the day.
Yeah.
Man, I was just kidding about you not sleeping, but I don't think you were.
No, I like to stay working and I like to stay busy.
That's a ton of drive. What is it about farming that drives you? I've worked a ton of night shifts in my life. I did 15 years as a police officer. I worked overnight. And I got to tell you, eventually at about 3, 4 in the morning, those things start to hurt. Like you just want to go to bed, but you're not going to go to bed. You're going to get off work. You're going to go out and get on a tractor. So what is it about farming that pushes you like that?
I mean, I couldn't really tell you. It's pretty special because I remember when I was 5 or 6 years old, I'd fake sick so I didn't have to go to school, and I'd jump on the tractor dead, and I was completely fine. I just wanted to stay home and farm, and I don't know. I think it's a sense of pride that you're putting something in the ground, it's coming up, you're helping feeding the world, and you're just outside every day in this world that Lord Savior Jesus Christ made. So you're just at one with it.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just amazing.
And does your dad, does he farm full time or does he work off the farm like you're going to do?
He farms full time.
Farms full time. Now, with the operation that you guys have there, I know you mentioned your brother. Is the ability for all of you to farm full time there, or not quite to the scope that you can all do that? So you're going to keep that off farm job as you progress.
We could probably all definitely farm full time. We'd probably pick up a lot more ground if we could all farm full time. But my brother, he farms, and he's also helping out one of our local welders too. So he welds a little bit. Dad just farms full time because, like, I was at school and he didn't have anybody else to help, so he had to do most stuff himself. My brother was at work, so.
Okay, got it. So, tell me about your hay ground. How did you pick up that ground to be able to farm that?
I shot the idea to my dad and grandpa one day. I'm like, what do you guys think about, maybe selling some hay? And they just kind of looked at me weird because we just been mostly selling crops. I mean, we had some hay ground, but it was just to feed cattle. I'm like, what do you think about selling hay? They just kind of looked at me and they're like, well, I guess we could probably try that. I'm like, well, I need to find a good patch of hay. And Grandpa was like, oh, this patch over here is not really the best for corn or beans. It's just red clay. You take that and plant you some alfalfa or whatever you want to and see how you like that. I'm like, well, okay, thank you. And I started planting alfalfa. And I'm like, I kind of like this. This is pretty fun. So I'll just see if I can pick up some more hay ground. And I did. Then I started looking a little bit harder, found about 20 more acres, and I'm at where I'm at now. So
awesome. That was great. Well, Cody, I'm excited for you. You clearly love farming. You clearly are pointed in that direction for the rest of your life. It's got to be nice to wake up in the morning and be excited to go out and do what you do for a living.
Yeah, it's quite nice. I'm extremely blessed. But I can get up, jump on the tractor, start working, and be by yourself, get a whole bunch of work done.
That's great. Well, Cody, thank you so much for doing what you do and for coming on the show today.
And thank you, sir.
Well, thank you to Cody Keefer for coming on the Off Farm Income Podcast today. And thank you to all of you for joining us here. And hey, as always, we would love it if you would click that subscribe button down below and become a subscriber to our YouTube channel. We'd love to have you follow us on social media as well. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and LinkedIn. And everybody, until next time, enjoy your journey to the ultimate lifestyle business, agriculture.